Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman, who gave you the solid, cold pick four. Picked all four winners last Saturday on Preakness Day at Pimlico. Well done.
Well, three of them were pretty easy, Tom. Utley was my price. I think he paid $17.
Yep.
But and I wish I'd played it straight. I did play a number of combinations, so I did hit a couple times, but I spent more than 50 cents. So.
I think I had it on my ticket. I gave out two, but it was like with multiple horses, and Utley was just kind of a throw-in for me. So to pick the $17, well done, because you had it picked in the race, not only in the pick four, but that's who you picked in the race.
I had a good day, and I gave my wife that trifecta, and she had the biggest trifecta she ever had in her life. $250 for $1. So the four horses I liked, she boxed them in the try, and they actually came in 1, 2, 3, 4. So
great.
We had a good day last Saturday.
Well, let's try to make it 2 Saturdays in a row, and we will start the weekend look at the stakes races around the country at Churchill Downs for their 10th race, the Grade 3 Louisville Handicap. Several of these horses we saw in the Elkhorn on closing day at Keeneland. How did you see the Louisville Handicap shaking out?
Well, I tend to pick horses that ran well at Keeneland, and no exception here. I think War Dancer from the 13 post ran a great race in the Elkhorn. Actually got the lead at the top of the stretch. Only lost by lengths and a quarter. Came 5 wide. If you watch that race, I mean, he was much the best in that race, but just had a tough trip. Worked hard to get there and just couldn't hang on. So I think at the mile and a half distance at Churchill, I think War Dancer's a good bet here. I'm going to take him on top. Forte de Marme came out of the same race, but was never really in the chase in the Elkhorn. And I don't know what happened at Keeneland. I'll give him another chance at Churchill. Just may not have handled the off course a little bit, though. The track was good that day. It was fairly soft for Keeneland turf. Star Channel, the 8, is my other horse. Steps up in class, but may dictate the pace from the outside. So Star Channel, I think, has a chance at a price, but War Dancer is my top pick here.
I think War Dancer is definitely the one to beat. I'm going to try Tattenham, a horse I've picked a couple times in the past, the 5. But I don't think there's a whole lot of speed in here, and this one's drawn inside of Star Channel, so maybe could maybe get the front. And he's run well at these marathon distances, which I like. It's the second off a layoff, and mainly it's just the fact that there'll be a little more value here than with War Dancer. So I'm going to try Tattenham, and then basically just a 4-horse exacta box for me with Tattenham, War Dancer, Sun Tracer, the 6, is just a classy old horse that always gives you a good try. And I'm going to throw in Perfect Timber in a 4-horse exacta box. This horse just got nipped in a Grade 1 last year up in Canada, and it's maybe the higher priced of the two Atfields, and I think this horse is a lot better than he ran in that 2014 debut. I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to give him another shot. So a exacta box of 5, 2, 4, and 6 for me. So no real more key horse in there. The 9th race at Belmont Park is the Grade 2 Sheepshead Bay, and it is a good group here. Again, some horses that we saw running at Keeneland in either allowances or stakes. And I ended up going to a horse that came out of a race at Keeneland, Abaco for Shug McGahee, flying on the outside in the race at Keeneland. And that was a mile and a 16th. So the stretch out is a question mark, but this horse is out of a Pleasant Colony mare, so I think he'll just absolutely love stretching out to a mile and 3/8. And Johnny Velasquez has been riding the Pletcher horse in here, I think it's Viva Raffaella, and takes the mount on Abaco here. So I thought that was noteworthy as well. So Abaco for me is the key horse, and I'll key her in exactas with the 2 Riposte, the 7 Irish Mission for Clement, and I'm going to give another shot to the 3 Fitful Skies for Kieran McLaughlin, just kind of thinking that last race was too bad to be true. But the key horse for me is the 6 Abaco. What about you in the Sheepshead Bay?
I like Abaco as well. She nearly won the Jenny Wiley at a mile and 16th, and I think she'll love the added distance here. Johnny V is the other note that takes the mount for Shug over Pletcher. That's a notable change. The horse that I like is the last one that you mentioned, though, to box with Abaco. Fitful Skies in the Jenny Wiley just never ran a step, and I don't really know what happened. She went off at a little less than 5-1 off a really good race. The E.P. Taylor, she nearly won a Grade 1 at Woodbine. So I'm going to toss to Jenny Wiley and say that she didn't like something about the Keeneland track, and she's going to bounce back here for Kieran McLaughlin. Ortiz rides. I think that she's got a real shot. So I'm going to box Abaco the 6, and Fitful Skies the 3. The other horse that I liked at a possible price was Belle Galante, who's for Rudy Rodriguez. You always got to look at his horses in New York. And she may be a nice price here, stepping up off an allowance win. But she has won 3 in a row by 3 lengths, 2 lengths, and 6 lengths. So Abaco, Fitful Skies, and Belle Galante for me.
Arlington is our next stop for their 10th race, the Grade 3 Arlington Classic. 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the turf course. The Louisville Handicap, by the way, a mile and a half. The Sheepshead Bay, a mile and 3/8. So this is 3-year-olds on the turf. And it's an interesting group here. You got a filly, Istanford, that's running it here, coming out of an effort at Churchill Downs. How did you see the Arlington Classic shaking out?
Well, I have picked Solitary Ranger before, but it really concerns me that the class advantage is there, but loses the rider. And Giroux goes to the 5-horse here, the Rise the Man, and I took a real close look at that. Florent Giroux has ridden Solitary Ranger like 6 races in a row. He shipped down here from Arlington to run at Keeneland, and so I'm going to take a shot here, saying that his agent picked the right horse here. Rise the Man, the 5, is my horse on top. I'm going to use him with Solitary Ranger, and I'm going to use the 7-horse, I Stanford. She comes out of the Edgewood at Churchill Downs and almost won there. Ran behind a nice filly called A Little Bit Sassy. So I Stanford is a real shot here, but I'm going to take Rise the Man and Solitary Ranger on top.
I went for Affordable, the 8. I thought that was a really good field that he beat at Keeneland. And you have a horse that was 19-1 that day, but just looked real impressive for Chris Block, who's a sharp trainer on the circuit, and just looks like off that allowance win, stepping up into a Grade 3 is not overly ambitious. Seems like about the right spot off that last race. So Affordable is going to be the key horse. Definitely got to use Rise the Man and Istanford. I'm going to use Chief Barker as well, the 2. So the 8 over 257 and then 257 over the 8. So the 8 Affordable is the key horse for me and my pick to win the Arlington Classic. Santa Anita's 7th race is the Grade 2 Charlie Whittingham, 3-year-olds and up at a mile and a quarter on the turf. All of our races we're talking about are grass races this week. And I went to Bright Thought, the 3. Horse got a lot of buzz going into the Grade 1 Woodford at Churchill Downs before the race before the Derby, and led till the stretch, and then faded, I think, to 6th. But big class drop. No wise Dans in here. This horse has won 3 times on the Santa Anita turf course, and it's the 3rd start off a layoff. So I thought a lot of things to like for Bright Thought. I'll key that one with the 6 Fire with Fire, the 7 Segway, and the 8 Joelito. The key horse, though, in my pick to win is number 3 Bright Thought. What about you?
It's scary. We agree on this. I like Bright Thought as well. 3 for 5 at Santa Anita. The Woodford turf, he set the pace for Wise Dan and just kind of gave it up down the stretch. I'm going to give him another shot, and I think going back to Santa Anita, shipping back to the West Coast will be right up his alley. If he runs back to his races there, the San Luis Rey last year, when he got a 114 Brisnet figure, and then he won 4 in a row last year at Santa Anita. I think he just loves the course. Bright Thought's the key for me. I did like Quick Casablanca, the 2-horse for Ron McAnally. Behind him, trainer changed from Christophe Clement to McAnally is not really a plus, but McAnally on the West Coast is tough. So I like Quick Casablanca to finish behind Bright Thought. And the other horses that I like are the same ones that you did, but I would also throw in the 1 horse, if I could pronounce it, Soy Fett.
Yeah.
The horse really has been very consistent, and second off the layoff, coming back from the Tisnao, and I think will show some pace and can get up for at a price for maybe 2nd or 3rd. So Bright Thought is my key as well in the Charlie Whittingham. One
more thing that we need to add, and that is the Rainbow Pick 6 at Gulfstream Park in a huge pool. We're talking about probably for Monday, Jim.
Yeah, as of the start of the weekend, it's approaching $6.5 million. Assuming that nobody hits it with a single winning ticket, which is the way you get the jackpot right now, it will carry over until Monday, May 26th, and Gulfstream Park has decided to give away the entire pot on that day. So Memorial Day is a huge day of racing at Gulfstream Park. Probably the total pot will exceed $15 million. They're expecting close to $10 million in new handle that day. So it's going to be a huge day at Gulfstream. So if you can get a piece of that, it will be worthwhile, either on Keeneland Select or come out to Keeneland and bet at the simulcast facility.
Make sure to keep your account funded for KeenelandSelect.com, and we'll be here next weekend for another look at the stakes races. And then we're 2 weeks away from just a huge day at Belmont Park with California Chrome's try for the Triple Crown and quite an array of stakes races that they will have on their card. And don't forget, of course, there'll be some good racing on Memorial Day as well. So that's why to keep those accounts funded at KeenelandSelect.com. We'll see you next week for the In the Money podcast.